YouTube. How is everybody today? Hope all's going well for you. Start off with, I have to apologize. I had mentioned earlier I was going to put out a video yesterday of my whips, and to be honest with you, it wasn't happening. I kind of got in rearranging mode and kind of organized some stuff because right now my apartment is in total chaos due to flooding issues in the bathroom, and the wall or ceiling and the wall in the bathroom needs to be replaced. And I'm just waiting for them to finish the unit upstairs before they'll come down and do mine. And my kitchen wall needs to be replaced, which is adjacent to my bathroom wall where my shower head is. So, apartment's a disarray. Believe me, I can't find nothing. So, anyways, not to get on that tangent, because I could go on for a while for it. So, this is going to be a two-part video. First off, I'm going to show you two whips. First one is inspired for a make-along that I participated in last year, and I am participating again this year, but just for fun. And what it is 70 or decade divas, and this year we're doing the 1970s. So when I think of 1970s, I think of ponchos. Like, I was born mid-70s, and I know myself and a few of my female cousins, we all had little ponchos with all the fringe hanging from it. Well, I've made a few ponchos for myself. I have one I keep at my camper. I have one I have here at home. I didn't want to make another poncho. I know that really does scream 70s, but I didn't want to do that. Then I think of colors from the 70s. And that'd be your yellows, your orange, your beiges, your browns, possibly even some reds, and then certain shades of green. I thought, I don't have those colors in my house. So I thought, okay, so those two ideas are completely out. I thought, what else screams 70s to me? Well, granny squares. Granny squares were very popular back in the 70s. And I thought, okay, well, I've done multiple granny square blankets in the past. You guys have seen different ones. I thought, I don't want to do that. It's a little more time consuming. So I thought, okay, let's get on to Pinterest and let's go looking for some granny square themed items and see what I can find. So, as you guys know, I've got this one yarn from Red Heart that I've been really pushing a lot of items out with. Well, I've got another project I'm making with said yarn. Now, I still have ends to sew in, but here's the bag part. It's done in 3 squares. And to be truthful, I made, if I go by the center color, I would have made this square first. And I started it with white, ended it with the color. Then I did the square here at the bottom, and yeah, I know it looks like a triangle, but if I open it up, actually I don't even know how well you guys can see it. The square on the bottom, I did it opposite. I did color inside, then the white, so that when you put them side by side, one side's color, one side's white. Then I did this square last, and again it was white in the center and colored on the outside. So those are my 3 squares. And then I joined them with just the single crochet all along the edging to make the bag part. Then for the trim, I just did 3 rounds of single crochets. And I do have a little loop here, which I'm actually going to change how I did that now that I'm looking at it. And there will be some kind of a button on this side. I just haven't decided what. Now, so that's the bag part. Still needs a bit of work. Then for the strap, which I didn't want a very long one, I just did a simple Tunisian strap in white. Nothing too spectacular. And it has a little bit of stretch, but not a lot. I find for straps, for me, I like the Tunisian style. I find if you just do a single or half double, they stretch really badly. Like, yeah, the Tunisian does stretch, but not as bad. So, but that's not getting attached until I get this part made. Now, hubby and I are going to the camper this weekend, so I do plan on So I remember to grab my sewing kit, taking this pillowcase. I don't know how well you can see the print on it. It's just little shiny, shimmery squares, and it is inside out. So the inside is the nice side, but the size of the pillowcase, like width-wise, fits perfectly in this bag. So what I want to do at the camper is put this in the bag, then kind of figure out where I want to trim it to match the contour of the bag, and then hem it by hand because unfortunately I don't own a sewing machine of any kind, and then insert it into the bag and then add the straps. Then when I get home, figure out what button I'm going to put on it. Because I don't think I have anything really colorful, so I'm thinking a big, shiny, white button of some kind would be perfect. So that's going to be my hopefully trailer project this weekend. And I want to get it as far as possible before I work on the other WIP this weekend. And the other WIP is from my Head to Toe Winter Knits book. I do plan on making everything in this book. I really don't care what order I make it in. Each time when I finish a project, I present you guys with 3 more projects and let you guys vote on them. So the current project I am working on is my striped rim Fair Isle hat. Now, when my hubby and I went away a couple weekends ago for a wedding reception, I took this with me. The temperature up there was gorgeous. Like this is a little more up north from where I am right now. And during the daytime, we were like hitting anywhere from 17 to 22 degrees. It was just beautiful. And I gotta admit, now that I'm 50, I almost think it's time to go with bifocals for reading. And I find when I'm reading text, like books and stuff, like instructions for making an item or a cookbook or just a chapter book, I either have to read outside in natural light because false light, I cannot focus well enough on the words to see them, or I've got to take a picture with my tablet, like if I'm making a recipe or reading my instructions for, say, for example, this item project I'm doing right now. I take pictures on my tablet and then I enlarge it. So this is the model wearing the current hat that I am making. And like I said, I took it with me, but the weather was very, very gorgeous while we were up at the reception that I spent more time reading it, sitting outside in the beautiful sunlight because in a nice sitting area with a picnic table and a bunch of chairs and stuff for guests to sit at that were at the motel. So I honestly did not work on this at all. And what I did work on it from the last time I showed it to you guys, I was only like maybe 3 rows in. So I thought, yeah, I need to put a little bit of work on it. So I think I did about 8 to 10 rows yesterday on it. I really put some time into her. So here's my version of that hat. Try and stretch it out a bit here so you see the pattern. It is, I know in this one here, the center section, because the one yarn is variegated and it's got the same color as the solid, it's hard to see the pattern. This one down here, the colorway, I should have swapped it up as to which 2 colors I put together. But it is what it is, and I'm not ripping it out by no means. So there is my version of the hat. Now, I do know that when I talked about this hat in one other video, pink is not my color. As you guys can see, I'm a natural redhead. I do not do pink. I've never been able to really do pink. I cannot do yellow. I cannot do orange. And I cannot do most shades of green. Sucks being a redhead. I know. So, I figured here in my city, we have, like, the hat's kind of on the thinner side because it's a sock weight yarn I'm using. Sorry, I'm just trying to make sure I get the stitch marker moved up and not split a stitch. So anyways, it's a sock yarn I'm using, so it's going to be a thinner hat. and light and airy, and we can get some pretty nasty winters here in the city. So I'm thinking this is not a good hat to donate for like the homeless and stuff like that. But it would be a good hat because it's, like I said, light and airy, to donate maybe up to our one hospital, which is so odd because that hospital is where my older son was born, and he was one of the last babies. And then they turned the maternity ward to the, oh, I have the name in my head, I can't think of it. More or less the ward you go to for your final days, kind of thing, before passing. Geriatric ward, I think is what it's called. And now that hospital is more focused on cancer. And I know it's a nasty word. I've had different family members who've had dealt with it in their life and stuff, and it's not fun. But I'm thinking with the light material and seeing if they take donations, and once I have it completed, donate just this hat. It's only the one I've got, but donate at least one hat. And maybe there'll be a patient up there who, is at that stage where they're losing their hair or have to shave their head. And I know it won't work too well for them in the winter months, but if they're going through, especially in the summer months, they could have a, nice kind of funky, fun striped hat to wear. Hopefully cheer them up. I think with being all the pinks would be a great hat for maybe a young lady in her teens. I think it's going to be too big for a preteen, but a teen up into their 20s, I think this hat would be a perfect hat. Even a lady up in, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, or whatever, I think this hat would be perfect for them. So I think that's what I'm going to see if I can donate this hat to our cancer hospital. So that is it for my WIPs. Now, phase 2. And to start off with, I do not need... Oh yeah, this is also using said yarn I used in the bag, and my octopus, and my pumpkin, and my ear warmers. And I think the yarn's almost done. I think I just had a small little ball left. It wasn't a whole lot. So, phase 2 of this video is for things we're making Thursday. Now, if you're new and you don't know what that is, it originally started with a small group of content creators. And excuse me 1 minute, I need to take a quick sip, dry mouth. Yeah, I'm a popaholic. I'm so sorry about that. Anyhow, it started back in 2023 with a small group of ladies on YouTube. They decided, hey, let's do this little collab. They thought it was going to be a little collab. They found 12 free crochet patterns each month. They worked on a specific pattern. They put their own spin on it as to the yarn they used, the hook size they used, alterations they may have to make to have it work for them, i.e. if they were, some of the items were wearables, and I know with one set of wristers there was an issue with the pattern. A few YouTubers weren't sure on where they were measuring from the look of the picture and where it says on the instructions. So there was alterations made. I myself did not participate in 2023, but I did follow. And they have a Facebook group called Things We're Making Thursday. You're more than welcome to join. So a couple times, their patterns, I thought, well, that's kind of cute. But let's see if I can find something in a knitted version, because I do both. As you just saw, I showed you a crochet project and I showed you a knitted project I'm currently working on. So I occasionally would share a knitted project over on the Facebook group, Things We're Making Thursday. Like I said, you're more than welcome to join. You do have to answer a couple questions because they have it private, just in case you're sharing something that, someone on your Facebook is getting as a gift and you don't want them to see it. And I guess between myself sharing some photos, and I know Erin over at Crafting Kitty, in her Things We're Making Thursday videos, she would share occasionally patterns as well that were knitted. So they decided, let's change it up 2024. And what 2024 was, they gave us a theme each month. We can make any pattern we want. Crochet, knit, sewn, woven. There were a few months I threw out there where you can maybe do other items like diamond painting, just painting in general. resin, polymer clay, beading, and it was more at Christmas time because it was making ornament and stuff like that. So there are a few months I feel other means of arts and crafts can be applied. But it's like, that's what they did for 2024. So that's when I jumped on the bandwagon. I've loved it. I've been a part of it ever since. And I know the group has grown a fair bit. And so 2025, they kind of kept the same idea, a theme each month, but they didn't really want us to follow a pattern. Now, I will admit, last month I cheated and I did follow a pattern. But this month, I struggled with this one to start with. I had a few ideas in my mind. I did speak to you guys about it last week. And before I show you guys the item, I will disclaim right now, I know the colors are not true to the photo. And if you give me a minute, hopefully I can share the photo where I'm drawing my inspiration from. Let me just see if I can bring the photo up. Okay, hold on a minute. I've got to close that window first before I can bring it up for some reason. It's a pain in the butt. Okay, so let's close you. Let's cancel you for a moment. We are going to shrink. Yeah, I'm talking to myself. I'm so sorry, guys. But for some reason, I cannot have that window already open and then share it. I gotta open it while I'm actually doing my video, which is a bit of a pain, but it is what it is. So yeah, it takes a moment clicking on this and clicking on that and trying to find what you're looking for. Okay, there's my photo gallery. I'm just going to get to the photo that I'm drawing my inspiration from. Like I said, I do know it's not true to color. I do not need anyone sending me nasty messages down below or contacting me in any way. I am aware this is not true to color. This is just where I drew my inspiration from. So let's try this again. Here we go. This is the photo from the show Wednesday on Netflix that I drew my idea from. So here's the photo. And as you guys can see, half of it's got color, and this is her Wednesday's roommate, Edith. I can't remember her real name. And then the one playing Wednesday, Jenna Ortega, not into color, and her half is no color. I wish I could enlarge that for you, but it's the best I can do. Now, I'm going to leave that up. I also, because it's kind of like a stained glass idea, and of course, the soldering, as it would be, is a spider web. I do believe in my one bit of yarn here, I have like a silvery, sparkly type yarn. If I do, I'm going to use it to make my spider web. Again, it's not black like it is in the photo. Just because I know it kind of looks like it's got dew on it and it's sparkly and the moon's hitting it the right way and stuff. And as you can see in the photo, Edith is standing on her side of the room. Wednesday's on her side. I am hoping to make an Edith and a Wednesday doll. I found a couple that I liked. But on my project, I'm going to have the dolls switched. And the reason for that is two things. First off, let me show you how much of the reef I've gotten done. And I want it so that the colors are on the right side as the picture for you guys. So, okay, if it's there, I have to switch it to here. Okay, so here you guys go. Yeah, well, actually, let's get this down. Remove. So, as you can see, I got a section here. This is the part I started with. It's in color. Hoping you guys can see it. Yes, I understand there's no green in that photo. I understand, yes, there's yellow. I don't have yellow in my color. Like I said, I just used it for inspiration. And then this side, which is the side I'm currently working on, is all black. So you have the one side representing Enid, and you have the other side representing Wednesday. Now, if you have seen season 2, which I have not yet seen, hopefully it's not a spoiler, but at one point from what I've seen in shorts and other clips, they switch bodies. Okay? I know a little bit of a spoiler if it's true, but like I said, I don't know what I saw was true or not. So I do want to, like I said, make an Enid doll and a Wednesday doll, and they're not super big. It's going to be made with worsted weight yarn. But I plan on, because Wednesday's going to be black and white, Enid is more or less going to be in the outfit of that picture I just showed you. So I got my wreath again. Obviously, if Wednesday's black and white and you put her on Wednesday's side, you're not going to see her. But if you put her on Enid's side, like attached to here somehow, she'll pop. Enid is full of color and, the blonde hair and everything. And I think her on Wednesday's side will help her pop. So other than the spider web that will be in the back, and I know the one I'm going to use, the kind of wraps around in a few spots and stuff while you attach it. And it's going to be shiny and sparkly and stuff like that. And then the 2 dolls, I don't know what else I'm going to add to this. We'll have to wait and see. I also know and do not need comments telling me Wednesday is not really Halloween show. But when you sit there and you think about the characters, and I don't know how well you guys know the Addams family, but to start off with, Grandmama and the mom are both witches. Wednesday has powers. You don't see them until you watch the Netflix series, but in the movies and when they were younger in the original show and stuff, and in the cartoon, that she's got powers, but no one, they didn't really explain it. So they have that kind of background of their life. And if you listen to especially the Wednesday original song, from the Addams family, and they're spooky and they're ooky and, kind of creepy and all that kind of stuff, it gives a Halloween spookiness vibe. And like I said, I'm just drawing my inspiration from the show, more so the Netflix series. But that's what I'm making for things I make it Thursday. I don't know if once I have, like I said, the wreath and the 2 dolls on, if it's going to be enough. I'm going to do some kind of a piece that's going to attach here to hang it. Haven't thought yet what I'm going to make there. I may try and find some ribbon, like a really nice black and white ribbon, and maybe a nice colorful ribbon, and somehow join the two, and maybe put a bow at the bottom, maybe. I don't know. I've got ideas in my head. I'm trying not to spend any money, but if I do want to do the bows, I'm going to have to, which is no big deal. So that's what I'm making for things you're making Thursday. I would love to see if you guys are making anything. This month being Halloween, I truthfully think it can be expanded beyond the yarny community. If you're into making polymer clay or resin stuff, you can easily make different things that are Halloween related. If you are into diamond painting and you have a picture that you're working on, and it's got the ghost and the pumpkins and maybe in a graveyard kind of vibe, perfect. That would be another thing. Would be actually pretty good to put on Wednesday's side as a tombstone. But I think just the $2 is going to be plenty. Sorry, I got sidetracked at squirrel. So yeah, or if you like to do needlepoint and you have a needlepoint that's kind of on the spooky side, or like I said, if you do polymer clay or resin and you're making decorations of somehow that are Halloween kind of vibey theme, share them. The way I look at it is, if you're in a different type of art person, like the way you do your art, like I said, beading, polymer clay, resin, paper, or even if you're into paper art, and you do like scrapbooking and stuff like that, and you've made a scrapbook and part of it's a Halloween section or something, it will help maybe to start in your type of art community for you guys to think, hey, let's try this. I participated in this group, kind of had fun with it. Let's see if we can expand it further and start reaching out to other groups. So can't wait to see what you guys are making. Sorry I kept you guys this long. There will be an FO video for tomorrow. I'm going to film it probably tonight, though. It's just going to be a very, very short FO project. One item I made. It's for one of my entries for one of the groups I participate in. And I whipped something up real quick. It was yesterday. Just boredom and whipped it up real quick. So I will have an FO video for you guys. Like I said, I will be away this weekend. Next week, I don't know how much I'll be recording or going live because I'm hoping next week they'll be in my unit working. Now I know today, about an hour ago, it sounded like they were putting in her tub again upstairs. I don't know if they got it in completely or not because it was close to them quitting. And they were making a lot of racket. So I think there's still a lot of work they're doing above me. But we'll have to wait and see. Anyways, guys, have a great day, and I will talk to you all soon. Bye for now.